Hey y'all, I'm doing a little bit of a car chat with y'all while I'm on my way to school. So yeah, I guess what I'm really going to start talking about is more so when you're dealing with pregnancy alone and you're going through it, it really, and that's something that I'll continue to say, and that's something that I'll continue to reiterate, it really feels as if you are in this dark hole and there's no means, there's no ways, there's no methods of escape, right? It is one of, and I will say to this very day, one of the hardest things that I ever been through my life and within my life. And the thing about it is, though, we think about pregnancy, right? And we think about the idea of how we want our pregnancy experience to go. And when things don't necessarily go according to how we want them to, that's really when all things break loose. That's when everything seems to go wrong. That's when your mind starts slipping into a negative place. That's when you start slipping into a negative place. And that's really when, you know, everything starts looking like it's for the worst. Like, you can be okay, you know, you could be healthy, you can have things going on for you, but just because one particular thing did not go how you wanted it to go, it could shift your whole entire perception on the life that you are living, regardless if it's a good or a bad life. So something that's extremely important is learning how to shift that perception from something negative to positive, right? I say this all the time. The first couple of months of my pregnancy, the first 3 months of my pregnancy, bro, when I tell y'all I was depressed, I was depressed. No, I wasn't clinically diagnosed. No, I never went to the doctor behind any of it. But when you're laying down and you're sleeping almost 24 hours a day, you're not eating, you're not moving from one spot, you're slacking in your self-care, you're not taking care of yourself, and you don't want to be on this earth no more, diagnosis or not, you're depressed. And when I sat down, it wasn't so much sitting down. I was just laying down in this one spot, y'all, just ruminating. Oh my gosh, how did my life end up like this? I was so careful. This is wild. This is crazy. I wasn't supposed to be here. I'm supposed to have been graduated. I'm supposed to be in medical school. I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be doing that. I should have never had sex. I should have left earlier. I should have done this. You know, it's all the what ifs and the things that I could have done, but I didn't, right? I'm over here going past and thinking about all the mistakes I made, all the red flags I ignored, all the things I could have been doing differently, all the different ways that my life could have gone. And as I'm doing this, the more that I think, the deeper the hole keeps getting. It's as if I'm digging myself a deep hole. Remember earlier when I explained to you all that pregnancy alone feels like you're in this dark, deep hole? A lot of times when we are in these holes, it's us digging and creating the holes for ourselves. Liz, what do you mean by that? When you are going through pregnancy by yourself and you're indulging in social media of other women crying about going through pregnancy by themselves, watching other women who are in happy whole relationships have like ultrasound things with their husbands or their boyfriends or their baby daddy, whoever it is, and you're over here like, oh my God, why can't this be me? I wish this was me. That's you digging yourself in a deeper hole. When you go to other women who are going through the experience and they're not talking about it more so in a way of how to shift your perspective and how to shift your mindset, but they're talking about it in a sense of, this was the worst thing happening in my life. I'll never grow from this. I'll never heal from this. I'm going to be forever be depressed. I'm never going to heal. That's digging yourself in a deeper hole. Because one thing you need to understand is your subconscious and the way that your mind operates, it cannot tell what is real and what is fake. So when you tell yourself these things, when you tell yourself you're not going to have a good pregnancy, when you tell yourself it's your fault your child's father is acting the way that he did, if you tell yourself, wow, I should have done, you know, if you keep telling yourself negative things are going to become your reality. And I know it is easier said than done. You are talking, or y'all are listening to the number one overthinker, the number one ruminator. Bro, if I could get an award in anything, it would be overthinking, overanalyzing, ruminating, and beating myself up for the mistakes that I made in my past. A word. It would be beating myself up. Dang, I accidentally took the wrong way. For mistakes that I made in my past, right? And the thing about this is, and what's so hard and what's so rough about it is, you don't even realize what it is that you are doing up until you are at the end of your pregnancy, and you missed out on a lot of it because you didn't get dissociated. You don't realize that you missed out on a once-in-a-lifetime experience until you come months out of it, years out of it, because I'm 1 year out of it now, and you're like, oh wow, I can't even really remember what it was that was going on during my pregnancy. And then at that moment, you look back and you're like, man, I wish I took more pictures. Man, I wish I did that. Man, I wish I took myself out. Man, I wish I allowed myself to do this. And it's just like, rather than living in a place where you just continuously regret your own actions, why not start off and learn from it, or learn from somebody else who is going through it, so that way you don't have to continue to be like, oh man, I should have done this, right? It's already hard enough when you are actively going through pregnancy and you're like, man, I should have done this. You do not want to keep going afterwards, after you had your baby, and your baby's like, mom, do you have any baby pictures of me, or do you have any pictures of when I was in your belly? Oh no, sweetie, I don't. Mom was going through a rough time. And then afterwards, now you're furthermore doing, man, I should have done this. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to eliminate the whole I should have. We're trying to eliminate the probability of you regretting something during your pregnancy. And what better way than for us to, you know, have you not think such a negative thing regarding it, than you switching your mindset, than you switching how you're thinking, switching how you're going about it early on, opposed to later on down the road. I wish I knew the things that I knew then that I knew now regarding my pregnancy. Honestly, honest to God, I am thankful for the people who are in my corner, because one of the people who are in my corner was my sister, and she was really just like, you know, reiterating, Elizabeth, take this as a moment, you know, really dive into yourself, really give yourself some time, because you don't give yourself some time, and learn how to transform yourself into the woman that you want to become. Like, no, like, yes, this hurts. Yeah, I can't even imagine what it is that you're going through, Elizabeth, but you need it, like, you know, come on, think about what things you could do. What type of woman do you want to become? What things do you want to learn? This is a good moment for you to take up and learn any things that you wanted to learn before, but you didn't have the time to, for you to learn now. This is a good time for you to really put yourself first, and put your self-care first, and put your health and your mental and all that stuff first, right? And that spoke to me. So that's why I encourage you, and that's why I continue to preach on my platform for women who are going through pregnancy by themselves. Here are like 5 things that I want y'all to do. Number 1, I don't know why I can't remember them off the top of my head, but number 1, journal, right? It is very important for you to go on ahead and get the emotions that you are feeling out. It is very detrimental to yourself and to baby for you to keep these emotions in, for you to try to contain them within yourself, for you to pretend like, oh, you know what, I could do bad all by myself. I don't need nobody. I'm a strong, you know, independent woman. I could do this pregnancy alone, yada, yada, yada. Yes, you need to be strong, but at the same time, if you're strong 24/7, you will one day crumble, because we're not meant to be strong 24/7. We are humans, and we have human emotions, and we have experiences that we need to allow ourselves to feel, right? So do not fake yourself out, or do not psych yourself out that, oh, this doesn't matter, oh, this isn't an issue, you know, doing what I kind of did, which was dissociating, because eventually all these emotions that you are ignoring are eventually going to pop back up, right? And it's like, what they say is true. If you do not deal with it now, you will 100% deal with it later, right? And it may not manifest in ways that you think. It may manifest in ways of your future perceptions of pregnancy, your future perceptions of how you carry yourself as a mother, regardless of like whether or not how you carry yourself if your child comes out looking just like their father, or just like, you know, whomever. All of this stuff is different ways that it will manifest, because you are low-key triggered, or subconsciously triggered. Especially, that was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to heal, was because I was like, hey, I'm having a son. If my son comes out looking directly like his dad, I do not want to subconsciously be treating my son in a different way, or treating my son terrible because I have aggression, or I have anger or resentment towards his father, and he looks like his father. So I'm over here subconsciously treating him terribly because I do not like his father, and he reminds me of him, and he is a constant trigger. So that is why it was so keen for me to make sure I heal, to make sure I forgive myself, make sure I forgive him, and make sure I do what it is that I need to do. in order to become the best mom that I can, right? So the first thing I said is make sure that you journal. Make sure you let them emotions out, because number one, if you do not let them out, they will come out, right? Number two, if you can, I don't know everybody's religious, or I don't know if everybody's spiritual around here. For me personally, throughout my pregnancy, what helped me a lot was my faith, right? What helped me a lot was reading my Bible. What helped me a lot was listening to sermons, prayer. All that stuff helped me out. There'll be times where I want to overthink. There'll be times where I'm thinking I'm in such a dark place. Well, I am, right? And I think back to a scripture that I read that uplifted me. Whatever your religion is, whatever your spiritual practice or your spiritual belief is, deep dive into it, right? Let that be your anchor. Let that be your tank, right? Not your tank. Let that be the fuel. Moments where your tank is low and you cannot pour into yourself, or moments where there's like your cup is empty, allow that to pour back into you. And when I say seek out religion or seek out spirituality, be mindful in the way that you do it. If you are only seeking it out in order to spite the person or smite the person, or put out curses or hexes, or oh yeah, God's gonna get rid of all my enemies, because you're doing it for the wrong reason, right? Yes, there's a natural order of things. Yes, sometimes what goes around comes back around. Yes, all that stuff, but that should not be your main focus, because 9 times out of 10, and majority of the times, when people are going through their karma, when people are going through the repercussions of their actions, you do not see it. And when you act in accordance, and when you join religion or you get into spirituality to see somebody else suffer at the hands of what they did to you, the moment that you do not see them suffering is when you want to walk away entirely. It's when you want to walk away from the spirituality. It's when you want to walk away from the religion, because you are not getting what you want, which is revenge on your enemies. Not realizing that the purpose of it is for you to have further enrichment, further peace, further stability, within yourself. It's not about the other person. It's never been about the other person. And I know it's like, Liz, it's hard. You don't understand what they did. You don't understand the things that they put me through. You don't understand how hard they hurt me or how bad they hurt me, Liz. You don't get it. I might not know your exact situation, but y'all, I promise you, if there's one thing I do understand, it's that. I understand what it's like to put your love into somebody and for things not to play out. I understand what it's like to tell somebody your inner and your darkest secrets, and just for them to throw it back into your face and use it against you and tell other people about the things you did. I understand what it's like, and I'm not telling y'all this out of a place of naivety. I'm not telling y'all this out of a place of somebody who does not know what's going on. I've been through it. I've been through the ringer. I've been through the pregnancy I had. Glory to God. And honestly, if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for my support system, all of that, I would not be here, right? I wouldn't. Point blank, period. It was when I realized, and it was when I found myself. And another reason why I'm so adamant about you needing to be careful regarding why you look into or go deeper into religion or spirituality, and it's not in the sake of trying to get revenge for how somebody did you, is because you will go down a dark path. You will go down a dark hole, right? You and your personality will begin to shift. If you are a good person, you'll start asking questions like, what is the point of me being a person when it seems like all the bad things happen to good people and all the bad people continue to live their life unscathed, unscratched, no problem, just living life like it's the best thing ever. So why should I continue being a good person, right? I should just be bad like everybody else. I should just be cold-hearted like everybody else. And those were the type of conversations that I was having with myself. Those were the type of things I was telling myself, why am I being a good person? Why does it matter? It shouldn't matter, right? He did what he did to me. Nothing's happened to him. It's me. I'm the one going through this. I'm the one going through pregnancy alone. I'm the one in hurt. I'm the one pain. I'm the one feeling some type of way, and it's just like, I don't want to be here right now. I'm the one who has to put my life on pause, sitting down while he could go on ahead and do whatever he wants, because no one could tell that he's pregnant because he's a man. But me, as a woman, I have to go through this. I'm the one who society looks down upon because I am a single woman who is pregnant, and they automatically blame me. Why should I still have a gentle heart? Why should I still have a kind heart? Why should I still be out here being a nice person and expecting the best out of people? Why should I still be a good person? I'm tired. I'm hurting. I'm hurting. And I want him to feel the same thing I'm feeling. And you know what? I want him to feel it worse. When I tell y'all I understand, but like I said, that is something that you really need to be careful with, because it could borderline turn into an obsession, and it changes the type of person that you were. It took me some time to realize, because I allowed myself to sit in it for a while. Rightfully so, bro. I was pissed. I was angry. I was hurt. I didn't deserve it. I didn't. I'll say it. And you need to say it too. I didn't deserve it. But regardless of whether I did, no, not even whether I did or didn't, because straight up, I did not deserve half the things that I went through during that pregnancy. But regardless of that, it doesn't matter that I didn't deserve it. I had to work through it. I had to make sure I healed from it. I had to make sure I did the necessary work in order to become the best person that I could be. Because yeah, I didn't deserve it, but my child doesn't deserve an unhealed version of his mother. My child doesn't deserve the trauma that comes with me holding resentment and harboring my pregnancy and my entire pregnancy and blaming it on his father, and then it comes out when he comes out. Your baby can feel what you're going through. Your baby knows what's going on, even though they're inside of you, right? So all that extra stress, all that extra anger, all that extra pent up like aggression, all that extra, like, nah, y'all, it needs to be released. And that is why, like I said, it's important for you to go on ahead and find that help, find that spirituality, find that religion, find that higher power that you could connect to in the moments where you just want to, you know. It helped me knowing that, hey, despite what you're going through, that you will not be going through this in vain, Elizabeth. And there is a natural order of things, and whether you see it or not, what people put out is what they put in, is what they get back, right? So yeah, on the outside, it may look like these people are going like, oh my God, their life is going so well. But for someone to be able to do what they did to you, for someone to be able to put you in such a messed up situation to where you have to choose whether or not you want to stay or go through pregnancy alone because the situation is unhealthy, for someone to go on ahead and force you to leave, for whatever your situation may be in which you had to go through pregnancy alone, for someone to do that to you, they got things going on within themselves that they like to project onto other people. They are so hurt within themselves that they don't know what else to do rather than hurt other people. And that's torture enough, because at the end of the day, when the lights are off, when they're laying back in their bed, they have to deal with them. And yeah, you could lie to everybody else. Yeah, you could put on a facade to everybody else. Yeah, you could flash your pretty cars, your nice houses, your watches, your money, your clothes in front of everybody else. But at the end of the day, you cannot lie to yourself. Lie to yourself for how long you want to. It's going to creep back up on you. And that's all that I needed. And I was like, okay. And more, like, even deeper than that, I told myself that I do not want to lose the woman that I once was, which was a happy, bubbly, go-lucky personality, just because of what somebody else did to me. And I would ultimately feel like if I had a whole personality shift into this dark, negative person, he would have won. He would have won. And you're not going to win. You're not going to take my joy away. And they can't take your joy away. So the next one that I would say is for number 3. No, I said journal, release your feelings, connect to a higher power. 3, be mindful of the media you consume, right? How I said earlier, do not be watching women going through sad stories about pregnancy alone. Do not be watching like these happy couples. Do not be looking up on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Google, what do men think about single mothers? You know, because all of that stuff ultimately is going to make you down. It's going to put you down. Especially the whole narrative going around right now. Let me be the first to tell y'all. They will tell you men do not want to deal with women with children. But let me be the first to tell y'all, that is a lie, okay? And on top of that too, for y'all who think y'all will never find love outside of the person y'all were dealing with, or baby daddy, or it won't get better than him, and you won't find somebody to love you how you deserve to be loved or treat you how you deserve to be treated, cap. That is a lack mentality, and you need to eradicate that. Get rid of it, because that is false. You will meet a person and you will be able to meet the person who, regardless of the fact of how many children you have, because they like you, because they mess with you, because they love the type of person you are, they will accept you with open arms, you and your children. I've heard stories about women with 5 children getting married, women with 4 children getting married, and then they add another one with their husband that they just created. So the whole narrative going around with single mothers are not valuable, like comparing us to used cars, saying it's like picking up another man's unfinished game, blah, 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 blah. Most likely those are just men who got hurt by single mothers, and most likely a lot of them were probably raised by single mothers themselves. And just because you have a child does not diminish your value, because you are valuable nonetheless, and something that's valuable continues to be valuable. And if anything, its value increases. The more you gain knowledge, the more you grow, the more you work on yourself, the more valuable you become. Point blank, period. And if a man thinks that you are his wife, you are his wife nonetheless, regardless of what comes attached to you, right? And the same love that they provide to you, they will be able to provide to your child, because your child, they will see your child as an extension of you. And on top of that, men, they like being the superhero, I guess, the ones that swoop in and like, So yeah, the next thing I would say is don't engage in negative social media. And as a counter, learn something new. If this is the time for you to dive into, whether it be like self-help, business, finances, whatever it is, start teaching yourself some new things. Teach your stuff, or watch videos on how to budget, how to manage your money, stock investment, different things about portfolios, how to cope, mental health videos, positive videos, motivational speakers, all that. Because what you really need to do, and this is something that is essential, because what you really need to do is reshape your mind, repurpose the things that are going on within your head, right? When you start learning new things, when you start reading books, watching positive videos, listening to positive music, I guess, all that stuff starts to rewire and reshape your brain and your brain patterns, and it starts changing your outlook on life. It starts changing your outlook of your situation. Throughout my pregnancy, I think almost 9 months, I'm not sure the whole entirety, I wasn't really listening to music. Like before, I'm a really big music person, all that stuff, but I stopped listening to music, and I would replace music with informational stuff, whether that be podcasts, whether that be audible books, whether that be YouTube videos, sermons, the Bible, whatever. When I would be listening to something, it would be something positive, it would be something that could grow me, it would be something that could teach me. And that also helped me significantly and drastically. The last thing that I would say is stay in the present. Enjoy the now. Enjoy the current. Your pregnancy is a once in a lifetime experience, right? You're not going to go through this again. Yeah, you might get pregnant again, but you are not going to be pregnant with the same child that you are, pregnant with. So that is a once in a lifetime experience. And do not allow for anybody to steal that experience away from you, because that is what miserable people do. They try to make themselves relevant because they're miserable, and they try to make you miserable alongside with them, right? So that is why there are attacks, right? That is why there are arguments. That is why the other party might want to be so difficult, because they're having a hard time. They want to make sure, and they want to see everybody else having a hard time and miserable. But I'm letting you know right now, that is a trick of the enemy. Do not engage. And if you do engage, do not take it to heart, because this really is just a miserable person. Take photos, take pictures, even if you do not want to, even if you are dissociated. Take pictures, because there will come a certain point in time where you are not in the same dark place that you currently are, and you would want to look back onto your belly. You're going to want to see how you look when you're pregnant. Your kids might want to see, Mommy, where were you when you were pregnant with me? I want to see, just have pictures for a keepsake. just have a pictures for a keepsake. I wasn't going to do maternity photos at first, but I ended up forcing myself to do it. It was a week before I was due, and I booked my thing at, what was it, JCPenney, to go on ahead and get my maternity photos done, because I didn't have a baby shower. And that's another thing I kind of regret, is I didn't have a baby shower. But have that baby shower, have that maternity photo shoot, take pictures, you know, keep the sonograms, keep the sonograms, keep the ultrasounds, keep them, have it be your keepsake. And realistically, do not allow for anybody to steal that away from you. Don't. So y'all, that's just my little 2 cents, and those are my 5 tips when dealing with pregnancy alone. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I would have all my other socials down below. I do have a Facebook group. If you are going through pregnancy by yourself, feel free to join the Facebook group. I have webinars coming up. And if you are looking for a journal, shameless self promo, the Doing It Alone guided journal is available on Amazon. And basically what it is it's a guided journal for women going through pregnancy by themselves. Like, let's say you want a journal but you don't know where to start, you don't know what questions to ask yourself. I provide you with questions for you to ask in you to journal, and you to kind of write it out and work out your thoughts, you know, work out your feelings, work out different things to help you heal, and not hold resentment towards baby because baby might, you know. Again, Doing It Alone, available on Amazon. I'll make sure to also link that in my description. I'm excited because there is a lot coming out for you all, and I already know pregnancy is not much known about it. You don't hear people talking a lot about it over social media. Being pregnant and doing it by yourself, being pregnant and being a single woman, girl, you will not hear that at all. So that's why I'm here, because I am, yeah, you know, if you don't have a space, you need to start creating it. So I decided to create this space for women who are going through this by themselves, because people do not think about y'all. And I want y'all to know that I see you. I want y'all to know that your pain is not for no reason. I don't want y'all to think that y'all are not worthy, because y'all are. And I will continue to say this until I am blue in the face. I love y'all. I am here for y'all. Comment whatever you need. If I can, I will respond to you all. But I am here for you, right? Because when you're going through it, you don't know what you need. And as somebody who's been through it and in a much better place now, I'm here for you, and I'm ready to be the person to help guide y'all through it, right? It doesn't have to be a death sentence. It doesn't have to be a terrible experience all the way out. It really is a mindset thing, because realistically speaking, baby daddy or not, husband or not, man or not, you are going through pregnancy alone either way, because you are the only person physically carrying the baby, right? And so you need to understand that, yes, although the father may not be near, you still can have a pleasant pregnancy. You still can surround yourself with people who love and adore you and cherish you, and you still can have a good time, right? Do not allow for somebody else to steal something that is so beautiful. Just something to think about. Much love. Till next time.